Hey everybody, it is May 19th. I am here live at Google I/O. Keynote's going to be starting in about 30 minutes. There's the stage back there. You can see we've got 3 screens, 2 demo stations, and we have got a large crowd forming.
Welcome to the Retail Agentic Podcast, where we explore the intersection of retail, e-commerce, and AI agents, which we call Retail Agentic. Our mission is simple. We are shining a bright light on the new agentic AI shopping megatrend, which will disrupt the trillion-dollar digital retail market. The stakes are high. Google, OpenAI, Microsoft, Perplexity, Amazon, Apple, Meta, and Anthropic are all fighting to be the consumer AI shopping agent winner. There are going to be some tough decisions for online brands and retailers to make. What happens to checkout? How should payments work? Should you continue to invest in retail media networks? What does the world look like when over half of your traffic is not from humans, but from AI agents? These existential questions are the tip of the iceberg. On this podcast, we're talking to industry experts, analysts, and influencers to get answers to these questions, identify trends, and best practices. This is Retail Agentic, your podcast partner in navigating our AI shopping agent future. And now here's your host, Scott Wingo.
Welcome to this episode of Retail Agentic. Today we have a special event for you because I am coming live to you from the annual Google I/O Developer Conference. Today we kicked off with a big keynote from Google CEO Sundar Pichai. He introduced a ton of new technology. I'm not going to go through it all, but some of the highlights that I think are relevant to everything we do in our agentic retail and brand world. First, they have a new Gemini 3.5 family of foundation models coming out, and they announced the lower model, Flash, is available today across all their different surfaces.
And today I'm excited to introduce Gemini 3.5 Flash, our first in a series of models combining frontier intelligence with action.
The Advanced Pro model is coming out next month in June. They also introduced a new consumer agent that I kind of think is their OpenClaw-like competitor, but with more guardrails, called Gemini Spark.
I'm particularly excited for what we are bringing right into the Gemini app. Introducing Gemini Spark. It's your personal AI agent that helps you navigate your digital life, taking action on your behalf and under your direction. It runs on dedicated virtual machines on Google Cloud, and it's 24/7. And yes, you can close your laptop.
There's a bunch of new nano banana creation things, one called Omni, a lot of video stuff, not really relevant to our world. Second, they spent a ton of time talking about upgrades to search. AI mode is now on 3.5 Flash, so they upgraded the model there. And AI mode search box is now multimodal. It'll accept images, Chrome tabs, files, and anything you throw at it. They demonstrated a lot of other interesting things there. You can go watch the full keynote online if you're interested in that. There were also some super cool nerdy things. A lot of you that watched the OpenClaw episode, we had the Ray-Ban Meta glasses connected to e-commerce. So I was able to try those on, pointed at my extra iPhone battery, and it identified it immediately and found it on Amazon, and I could have ordered right then and there. So I thought that was really an interesting use case. Those are early and not out yet, but they're coming out soon, and they've partnered with DNVB from our world, Warby Parker, and then also a South Korean eyeglass manufacturer named General Monster. But most importantly for us here at Retail Agentic, Vidhya Srinivasan took the stage and she introduced something very new and exciting called Universal Cart.
I am excited to announce the Universal Cart, a truly intelligent shopping cart. It works across merchants and across services. You'll be able to add things to your cart when you're browsing search, chatting with Gemini, watching YouTube, or even reading your Gmail. The moment you add a product, your cart goes to work for you in the background. It finds deals, looks at price drops, gives you insights on the price history, and alerts you when something comes back in stock. It all runs on our Gemini models, so your cart gets even smarter as the models improve. So just think of it as shopping with superpowers.
It's a cart that's intelligent, proactive. It understands all kinds of different payment mechanisms you have in your wallet and how you may want to apply them. I'm a big American Express user, so it would know if you get more points back and if there's an Amex offer, that type of thing. It also is proactive. It knows if prices are changing and knows where you are in the price history of an item and if it's a good time to buy something or not. So it's kind of like a wish list, price tracker, and a cart, a multi-merchant, multi-item cart all smushed together. Because of these innovations in the universal cart, earlier today I published an article where I officially moved Google Gemini to the first company to reach what I call level 4 of the Agentic Commerce autonomy scale that we created here at Retail Agentic that is called Advanced Buy. So congrats to the Google team for being the first company to reach that milestone. I think that's exciting. Fortunately, I did kind of have to demote ChatGPT because they basically abandoned cart, and I think this is going to prove out to be problematic for them. In AI, you can't count anyone out, and things are changing so rapidly. Who knows? But it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Also, in Vidhya's talk and blog, she mentions the universal cart will be coming to surfaces like Gmail and YouTube, which I find interesting. There weren't a lot of examples of that, so as I do these interviews, that's going to be something that I ask a lot about. Finally, she talked about AP2, which is a protocol we haven't heard a lot about. UCP is more advanced and it labels you to the cart and things like that. AP2 is a different protocol that's really about agent-to-agent payments. So I thought that was interesting. And they've mentioned it several times today in the context of that more personal assistant agent named Gemini Spark. So I am looking forward. Tomorrow is Google Marketing Live, and I'm hoping that we'll see and learn more about what that's all about. Again, if you remember that OpenClaw episode, you can just go buy stuff with OpenClaw. It's a little off the rails, so it's a little scary. I don't recommend it for most folks unless you're a developer. So it does seem like we've seen Perplexity come out with a computer. We're starting to see a lot of kind of personal agents come out. OpenAI acquired OpenClaw, and we assume that they're working on something there. So that could be a whole nother world of agentic commerce. That kind of full autonomy could take the form of one of these personal agents going out and buying stuff on your behalf. Vidhya wrapped up by saying Universal Cart will be available this summer. On Vidhya's product team, it's split into a merchant-facing side and a consumer-facing side. And I submitted a request to the Google PR team to interview some folks. And because of that, I was able to sit down for about 20 minutes with Suresh, Ganapathy, and ask some questions about everything they announced today. We talked about his role at Google. He just came back from a stint at Meta, so he's been back at Google for a couple of months, and what he's working on and where he sees all this going. It's about 20 minutes, but we get into some pretty good meat and potatoes here. You would expect nothing less from a Retail Agentic podcast, so I hope you enjoy my interview with Suresh. Hey, we are live here at Google I/O. I'm doing a live interview. This is a Retail Agentic exclusive, and we're in it's like 90 degrees here. What do you think, PR team? And so we're in an air-conditioned room. So if you hear a little air conditioning noise, it's what's keeping us alive right now. So sorry for that. I am joined here by Suresh. He is the Senior Director of Product for Consumer Shopping. Hey, Suresh. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah. So first of all, I hear you were at Google a while ago, and then you left and just recently came back. Tell us a little bit about that journey and what brought you back to Google.
Yeah, I mean, I think shopping is ripe for transformation with AI. AI is going to make shopping just feel more fun, more powerful, more intelligent. And Google is, I think, one of the best places to work on shopping at this point, with all of the incredible technologies that is invested in over the years, from the shopping graph to search, and now the Gemini models make it possible to build a lot of really cool experiences. Coming back here has felt great, but it's like I took a long trip and came back.
Yeah, it seems like AI has really energized everything at Google. You can just see it in Sundar's. He's got a little bounce, a little pep in his step.
Absolutely.
Getting into fighting shape.
Well, it's some things haven't changed that like focus on the consumer, like that's super clear in the company. The technical depth and rigor that we put into everything that we build. But then there's also this renewed excitement and energy around AI and the possibilities of what AI can do for consumers that is just so exciting to be around.
Awesome. Now, in your past gigs, have you worked on retail, or is this kind of your first foray?
I worked on shopping at Google for a hot minute, a decade and a half ago.
Okay.
It's just been a personal passion of mine.
Yeah.
So I feel really fortunate to be here.
Good. Awesome. And then, so you've been back for about a couple months, and then they just spring you right into Google I/O and an interview with me. So there you go. You did a really helpful LinkedIn post kind of framing what you were excited about with today's announcement. And you talked about there being the 3 building blocks. Maybe go through those and say a little bit about them, and then I'll ask you some questions.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, we see a future where shopping feels fun, powerful, and intelligent for our shoppers. And we think of 3 very foundational building blocks towards this future with Agentic Commerce. The first is Universal Commerce Protocol, or UCP for short, which establishes this shared language between agents and merchants across the entire shopping journey, right from product discovery to purchasing to post-purchase shipment tracking. And we've seen a lot of interest from the industry, like, Vidhya talked about it, Amazon, Stripe, Meta, Salesforce, Microsoft have all joined the UCP Tech Council to secure this open standard. At I/O, we're announcing that we're building on this momentum to expand UCP along 3 dimensions. The first, we're bringing it to new verticals, starting with hotels and local food delivery. The second, we're bringing it to new markets, Canada, Australia, and soon the UK. And then the third, we're bringing it to new surfaces, including YouTube. The second building block is agentic payments. Now, we want everyone to be able to ask agents to make payments on their behalf, but not in a way that it's going to run away and do its own thing and buy things you don't want. In Vidhya's case, a motorcycle, but I'm sure we all have our examples.
Yeah.
What we want it to be able to do is to buy things on your behalf securely, but with the boundaries that you set, with accountability. And that's why we designed AP2, or the Agent Payments Protocol, where you should be able to tell the agent, here are the products that I want to buy. Here are the variants. Here are the merchants that I like to buy from. Here's the budget that I have. And then the agent goes and buys only if it meets all of those criteria. And so we're launching agentic payments on Gemini Spark this fall. And then the last building block is the universal card, and that's the one I'm most excited about. So we keep hearing from shoppers that you rarely complete a purchase in a single sitting, and it's multiple devices, multiple tabs, and so the whole point of the universal cart is that kind of build this agentic base for your shopping across Google. You can add products across search, Gemini, Gmail as you discover them, and the moment you add something to cart, the cart goes to work for you. That's going to find price drops. It's going to let you know when things are back in stock. It's going to maximize your savings looking at the credit card so you have a Google Wallet, and help you get the most points when you choose to buy something. And the cart is also integrated with UCP, the first building block, so that when you make a purchase, you can do that right on Google or transfer all those items to the merchant site. So the cart's coming this summer to Search and Gemini, and then to the other surfaces after.
Yeah. Do you have a date for the summer? I have to ask. So.
Well, we'll leave it at the summer for now, but
Okay.
we're looking to bring it as soon as possible. We're excited.
Yeah, I'm seeing demos, so it seems like there's a code is written. So that's
Oh
good.
yes, it's working.
Yeah.
It's in my pocket right now.
Okay, got it. Good. So you're kind of in a beta kind of mode and scaling it and that good stuff. Let's talk about the cart first. I thought the surfaces was interesting. I totally understand the AI mode and Gemini and that stuff. We use that all the time. But talk a little bit about YouTube. Is the use case I'm watching a video and I see something in the video that I want to buy, and I can just kind of, and you guys have this Ask YouTube piece that they were talking about. Can I pause the video, ask YouTube, hey, what is that, and buy kind of like right inside of there, or like how does this work?
So we'll share more specifics about the experience down the line, but just at a very high level, like when you're watching content on YouTube and you're inspired by something, you want to be able to quickly save that so you can come back to it later. And you want to be able to get back to that maybe on Google search and do some more research on it. And so what the cart lets you do is to create that very seamless experience across surfaces.
Okay. And then what's a good Gmail one? Like is that where someone's going to do some marketing to me? Like Ulta sends me an exciting new shampoo or something, and I can like throw it in the cart right from email type?
Yeah,
okay.
That's a great example.
I got it. Cool. And then will that be like will it be in the email? Is there something the merchant has to do in the email, or Gmail will be aware of these things?
Yeah, so both YouTube and Gmail will share more details down the line. On Search and Gemini, you can tap on any product, you see a screen with details about the product and merchants you can buy it from, and you'll have the option to add products to cart right from that surface.
Yeah. This is kind of just one sidebar. So in the old days of Google, there was like an engineering structure and then a product structure, and they kind of like, they had different reporting structures, but then they collaborated tightly on delivering something. Is that kind of still how it is? So the reason I ask is like, do you report up to Vidhya and then Ashish is over here on the engineering side, or like, are you all kind of like mushed together on the team in some way?
So structures vary across the company. I report up to Vidhya. Ashish works on the merchant side. I work on the consumer side.
Okay.
I have an engineering counterpart who also reports up to Vidhya, who works on the engineering side for consumer shopping. Yeah, but we're one team.
She's talking tomorrow at Google Marketing Live,
and
so that'll be good. I'll get to see her. So yeah.
Awesome. And Shavi works on the PM side for merchant shopping with Ashish.
Got it. So you're the consumer, and she's like your merchant.
Exactly.
Yeah, interesting. So you have consumer and merchant, both PMs and engineering. So there's okay, wow, got it. I could draw it out in my mind now. So side journey over, back to the thing. You talked about AP2 on Spark, and Spark is new. So tell us a little super high level. I was kind of confused because I know you have. Anti-gravity is kind of an agent, but they're explaining to me at the demo station, it was very helpful, that's like the super down to the metal coding thing, and then Spark is the more consumer agent. But how do you explain it if at a cocktail party when someone's like, what is an AP2 in Spark, and why does someone care about that?
Yeah, so what AP2 lets Spark do is it enables Spark to be able to make payments on your behalf as long as they meet the criteria that you lay out. Spark is the consumer agent that we're launching on Gemini that you can use to do tasks for you, as Josh shared today. So let's take an example, right? Like say like, I don't know, okay, Nike Low Court Vision, they launch all these shoes in different colors all the time, and they have these drops with new colors. Now, what if I want to get one of those? I just don't have time at 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm dropping my kids off in school. I need this thing. I can ask Spark to go make a purchase for me, as long as the colors are within the colors that I usually shop. So not yellow, but like it's blue and it's black, and they had a recent anthracite color, which is really cool. And so I can lay those guardrails to Spark and then ask it to make a purchase as long as it meets those criteria. I get the right size that I want, and then say I buy it, from a small set of retailers that I feel comfortable shopping.
Yeah, so good analogy is I did a podcast that was really popular about kind of like the hairy edge of OpenClaw, and you could just have this thing go buy stuff for you, right? But OpenClaw is known for not having guardrails, so Spark is an agent that has a lot more guardrails and kind of more. It's not going to go delete all your files. There's all these famous horror stories about OpenClaw mistakenly deleting people's files, and then it needs a way to connect with permissioned and pay. And that's kind of how that works.
And AP2 is really at the heart of all of that, right? Both, like we discussed, the tamper-proof mandates, which contain the criteria that you lay out as a shopper, and it has selective disclosures to make sure your privacy is protected and your data isn't just shared with all the different parties that the agent needs to interact with.
Got it. Okay. And then kind of working backwards through your building blocks. Now we're at UCP. This may be, now I understand the org structure. This is kind of more on the merchant side, I understand. But do you, on the consumer side, do you guys get to kind of chime in and say, hey, this is kind of like, we would love to see this in UCP at some point down the road because consumers are asking for X, Y, and Z?
Just, we kind of see this, the future of agentic commerce is where both merchants and, shoppers need to thrive. And so everything we do, like our teams kind of are fused together, we work together. I talk to Shavi and Ashish and Jay, who's my engineering counterpart, 100 times a day. So it's very much kind of a mind meld kind of situation. But then also going back to UCP, there is the protocol, there is the stuff that merchants need to do to integrate, but there are consumer experiences that we're building based off of UCP. And so we kind of spent a lot of time thinking about what shoppers want. And then Ashish and Shavi and team really spent a lot of time thinking about what merchants are trying to solve for. And then we put our heads together to kind of figure out what the end-to-end experience needs to look like.
Got it. And then Ashish kind of hinted at this on his podcast, but you guys are feeling, and then you can kind of, Sundar touched on a little bit, and Vidhya, there's 1 billion people coming to Google to search for products every day. And then, I'm very jealous of you because you get to sit there and just look at that data stream. And they've both talked about, I guess all three of them have talked about, I guess all the Googlers talk about, you've never seen a pull like this. So the consumers are kind of like telling you through the data, I'm sure if you ask consumers, but it's like 1 billion people is hard to ask on a on a non-anecdotal way. But I'm sure as you look at that data stream, is that part of your job to kind of like look at that and read the tea leaves and kind of see how are people interacting with all these things you guys are putting out and what should be next?
Yeah, so we have a range of different ways we're learning from our shoppers. We do multiple types of research. We look at how they're using our products. We go ask them what types of challenges they're trying to solve for with shopping. And usually a lot of our products that we build come from one or more of these research techniques.
Got it. Cool. Well, thanks for coming on Retailgenetic. Welcome back to Google. It's going to be exciting to see what you build now that you're back.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just want to say I'm really excited about all the announcements that we had today and really kind of starting to lay the foundations of agentic commerce and build a future where it's fun.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you tomorrow at Google Marketing Live.
Awesome. We'll do.
All right, sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Bye. And thanks to the Google PR team who are off camera for helping set this up. Really appreciate it.
Follow, rate, and share to stay up to date with Retailgenetic, your guide to the future of AI shopping agents.